welcome to another episode of HPCritical Podcast where my friends and I talk all things gaming. I am Jerel, joined by Gabe.
That's me.
Branson.
Heyo.
And Kellie.
Hi, everybody.
First of all, this is, did I say this is HPCritical? I hope I did. I start with
Yeah.
HPCritical. Okay.
I think so.
So, if you don't know, you're listening to HPCritical, the best gaming podcast out there.
Straight up.
It is actually a proven fact. If you Google best gaming podcast, HPCritical comes up as number one. If it doesn't, it's because you're not listening enough. So listen some more until it does come up. Anyways, how are you?
Leave reviews too.
Yes,
leave reviews.
How are you guys?
Reviews, nothing less. If you do, I will find you. Sorry.
It's been a pretty good week for me so far. It's been a fairly busy week, but it's been pretty good. Do we get to talk about what we've been playing? Okay, good. Because to echo Gabe, what Gabe does in like past podcasts, I got a list, like a little list. Because it's been a lot of stuff played. Fortunately, a lot of the stuff that I want to talk about last week also kind of like rolled over into this week, so it actually works out. Of course, we've been playing 3D World, as you all know. The chaos has been real, but it's also been a lot of fun. We are very close to finishing up the game. And fortunately, by the next time we go to stream, which is not this Friday, but the next Friday, it's going to be a charity. So we're not only going to roll credits, but we're going to do a lot of that post-game stuff. It should be a lot of fun. Last week, myself and Annie finished up our River City Ransom playthrough. That was a lot of fun. There is a surprise cameo appearance by the Double Dragon at the end of River City Ransom, and we both popped off because neither of us knew that. Like, they're like secret bosses at the end. Like, whoa, what? And we got our ass whooped repeatedly before we actually beat them. Their music plays and everything when you fight the Double Dragon. It's like straight up. It's like, why are we hearing the Double Dragon? It's like, oh shit, it's the Dragon. It was like,
the Double Dragon is.
It's another beat 'em up game made by the same developer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I played River City Girls from River City Ransom, and it's great. So I can only assume that River City.
Oh, me and Annie are at some point. We're gonna we enjoyed River City Ransom a lot, so we're 100% going to do a playthrough of River City Girls at some point when the schedule opens up a little more. That's definitely on the plans.
I would love to have been invited. Must be nice.
Yeah, it must be.
Damn.
I have not been invited to, and does it hold up yet?
No, because you hate retro games.
I don't hate.
You hate how they look.
I just think they're ugly.
That's what I'm saying. That's what it is.
I can appreciate the game and just still call it ugly.
I can have you on for an episode of season 2, which is the 16-bit, which is a great segue because season 2 of HPCritical Doesn't Hold Up has started, and we are now covering Super Nintendo games. We started off with Super Mario World. Myself and Christy played that one. I had Gray. This week we played Super Mario Kart and Mario Super Picross. Yo, Mario Super Picross is real. Like, if you don't like Picross, it's not going to change your mind. But that game has multiplayer, so you and a friend can solve puzzles together. It elevated it to me. Like, I've never been so happy to play a Picross game because we were working together to solve the puzzle. It's awesome. And then I had a guest, a contributor for Comic Book Resources. Me and him played Super Mario All-Stars for National Mario Day.
What's his name?
His name is Abraham Buhner.
Hey, shout out.
Yeah, I was about to. Chill.
Oh, okay.
Me and him, we play Super Mario All-Stars. No surprise, that collection is amazing. Has all these great 2D Mario games from the NES era, but all souped up for the Super Nintendo era. Was really cool. Did a Switch anniversary stream, played the top 5 Switch games of 2017. ARMS is shockingly not dead. I just want to make that clear. I played ARMS online. I didn't have to wait 3 seconds to get a match. I'm shocked at how many people are still playing that game. But there you go.
Could it be that there are so few people playing that like you just automatically get paired with someone else? Is that a thing?
Well, it's possible, but like I've also seen other YouTubers do experiments and like playing them in off times, and they still seem to get matches.
I was just kidding. I was there in the stream. It was pretty quick. I was just kidding.
Yeah. But apart from that stream, I have been playing Breath of the Wild on my own. I finally got all 120 shrines, so I'm going to at some point do the final boss game and finally do the DLC. But I'm happy I finally got 120. The reward you get for it is actually pretty cool. I had no idea what it was. I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't done it, but it's pretty neat. Been Bravely Default to Animal Crossing because of the Mario decorations. I got back into Ring Fit, so I'm back on my routine. I have now finished both routes of Triangle Strategy. One ending of the Triangle Strategy ends like it's like a nice pilot ending. Like if the demo is like a pilot episode of like a TV show, one of the endings is very much okay. This is a nice natural pilot episode. Excited to see what happens next. The other ending is a straight up cliffhanger where you want to know what happens and you're not going to find out until 2022. And I'm like, damn, son.
That's horrible.
Yeah, so like, and that's the one I got first, the cliffhanger ending. I played, I was like, no, you do me like this. And it's like, thank you for playing the demo. I'm like, ah! So I had to do the other ending, and that one was a lot more calm. Like, I felt more, like, there's definitely more to tell in the story, clearly, but I felt more like, okay, cool, this is a nice tide over. It's the way, like, you remember how Oberek and Primrose's ending ended in the original? It's like that, where it felt like a natural ending. There's clearly more, but there's more. But yeah, that's... And the last thing I've been playing is I got back into Fire Emblem Three Houses because it's been on my mind lately. I finished the Cinder Shadow DLC.
Oh, I haven't tried
and
that.
I am continuing the Blue Lions, which I left off like almost like a year ago. I recruited some of the new characters that you get from the DLC to bolster my ranks a little bit. Yeah, having a lot of fun getting back into that. And that's me. That's everything.
Man, this is so depressing compared to yours. I haven't had time to play much. But I did not play Project Triangle Strategy, but I did watch someone else play Project Triangle Strategy because I was actually like, I think I was editing something while they were playing. I don't remember what I was doing. I was working on something while they were playing, but I was watching them play. And
so, divorced from the gameplay, how are you feeling about the story now that you've kind of seen it?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think it's funny. Like, not the story. I think it's funny that the game will allow you to make a decision, but then you have to convince other people. And I was like,
I love that because it's very visual novel like. Like I love that you have to convince people to take your side. It's not just I want to make this major decision, and the rest of the people could be like, nah, fuck you.
Yeah, it was. I was like the first choice I had to make. I was like, kill that man. Like I don't care. Because I was like, literally, they were all like, yeah, no, we should turn him in. And I was like, yeah, I mean, like totally. Like who cares? Like. I feel like if you have a character, and this is probably a little bit of a spoiler, but if you have a character who is like, I want to die to save the world, fine, boy, go die. I'm not gonna fight for you, broski. But the person that was playing didn't want them to die. They were like, no, we gotta save them. And I was like, okay, whatever. So I saw the other route.
So like I said, I did do both routes, so I had to do the persuasion on both sides. Like I made 2 separate save files so I could do that. Surprisingly enough, despite the fact that the majority wants to go turn in the prince, and I had to convince the rest of them to, the people, the holdouts say, yeah, turn in the prince. It was surprising. Still, one person would not fall in, and she said, no, I will not do it. But she was outvoted, so we ended up turning the prince. But then when I did the other one, to like, no, we got to protect the prince, and you have to convince more people to protect the prince, given your situation.
Yeah, that was the one I did first.
I managed to get a unanimous vote, which is crazy because, like,
that is. So that's actually what I was going to say. When I was watching this playthrough, I thought that you could just convince people one way or another, but you don't. Like, you convince them, like, if they're on the opposite side and you convince them, they just go to, like, undecided. They don't automatically go to the other side. And you don't know which way they're going to vote until the actual vote comes. And I was like, you stupid bitches. Like, if I convince you to come to my side, you don't even go with me. I was like, this is such trash. But I did like the concept, but I didn't even play it, so let me shut up about that. What I did play was a little bit of Bravely Default 2.
Nice.
And that's it.
That's it.
that was my game for the week. I have a huge list of games I want to play, but I've just been too busy, so I played a little bit of Bravely Default 2, and that was me.
Yeah. I haven't had much time to play, but so this weekend, me and my boyfriend, we saw this ad on YouTube for Call of Duty Outbreak and on Black Ops Cold War. So, like, I have Black Ops Cold War on my computer and on my Xbox because I'm, like, stupid and I love spending money. And so, like, we were trying to, like, he was like, oh, we gotta play that. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I, like, definitely want to. And it's, like, an open world zombies thing on Black Ops Cold War. So we tried to play it split screen, and it was like terrible. But I was like, oh well, I think we can play together on my computer, and we can. Even though I didn't tell, I don't think I told him I bought 2 copies actually. So, because I mean, I don't know why I did, but we can play together now. So I've been playing that, and then I've just been playing like Outbreak, and then just regular Call of Duty like multiplayer, and it's so fun. Like, why did I ever stop playing Call of Duty? It's like the most fun I've had playing a game in a while. Even when people are salty, like people are so toxic. But I just mute everyone and just play.
The best thing was on International Women's Day, your VOD of you just being like, it's Women's Day, I'm literally muting all dudes in chat.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
This is what I get. I was like, yes, Kellie, go.
I do want to say, though, that, to be honest, like, most of the people that have open mic are toxic on Call of Duty, but I've met, like, honestly nice people in games, and I feel like we don't give people enough credit for being nice in video games. Like, some people are, like, super nice. They just want to squad up. Super wholesome. Like, whatever. Kudos to them. Because, like, you don't have to be toxic.
Yeah.
But, like, I never say anything positive about people in game chats, but, like, I've met really wholesome people there. Even in Call of Duty, I've met people that were like, you want to play with us again? Like, that was fun. Like, we're a good team. And I'm like, sure. And it doesn't end up going south where they're like, fucking women, you know, or something, or I'm a Nazi or something. I don't know, you know. You never want it to go there.
Say that.
So sometimes it doesn't. And that's great when that happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, Call of Duty.
The time that we were playing that scary Call of Duty. Was that zombies? It was zombies, right? Or something.
It was zombies in Warzone for the Halloween event, yeah.
And I was the asshole who killed someone. Or they killed me, I don't remember. And I was like saying not nice things. And then Gabe was like, oh my god, no, they were so nice, Jerel, don't say that. I was like, I'm so sorry. But I died. And I got mad. But yeah,
I get so mad.
It's really cool to have nice people out there. Okay, what have you been playing?
So I like leaving my hot mic on because when I play Warzone, I want to know the reaction of the person I just killed. So it's one of the funniest things. But I've been playing Warzone because I'm trying to get my KD to a 1.0. Not good at FPS, so yeah, it's under 1.0. It's at a 0.98 right now. I'm playing Warzone, Phasmophobia, Smash Bros, and I finally finished one of the greatest games that I personally don't think is being talked about enough at all. Whatever. Marvel's Spider-Man for the PS4. Well, I have the remastered one for the PS5. I know when it came out, everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, it's such a good game! Like, it's so pretty and all that." But like, it kind of like died out. Like, I don't really hear anyone talk about it anymore. But, like, I finished the game and I was like, holy shit, like, this is a really cool game. And then I'm excited because now that I'm done with that, I get to play Miles Morales. And from what I've been hearing, Miles Morales is a lot better, like, terms of almost everything. So I'm like, that's going to be fun. And then I just want to see, like, how this story starts continuing. Because you saw a little bit in the previous game, so I'm excited for that.
I completely forgot that I also played, you reminded me, I also played Smash and Pokemon. But
that's true. We all did for the Pirate Method did come out.
Oh no, I missed it when you guys played.
Oh yeah, but you played.
Yeah, I ran away from a meeting.
I did not. We can play after this. Speaking of, the only reason that I played those games is because I was on a date, and I was like, "Oh, you want to date me? You gotta play me in Pokemon. You gotta beat me in Pokemon." He lost, and then I was like, "Okay, we can't go on another date." But you could try beating me in Smash, and then he cheated. So,
Jerel, that's not Jerel. Defeating you.
He cheated, or you suck.
What?
He actually cheated because we were like no items, and then he broke the Smash Ball and killed me, and I was like, that's clearly an item.
Wait a minute,
that's your fault.
How did you
take the Smash Ball off?
Yeah, like if you said no items, how was the Smash Ball on?
Because we agreed to not do items, but there were items on the field.
So this is like a test of like your resolve.
Because he cheated,
Wow.
and I lost.
That's a real test. Like the item is right in front of you. You have to have it's tempting you, and you have to just choose
Right,
not
and
to.
so when he listens to the podcast, I want him to know that I still believe that he cheated, and I technically
I can appreciate that.
But new mains, Pyra and Mithra.
They're great. They're great characters. They're great characters.
So beginner friendly. You just press a few buttons and you're doing stupid shit all over the place. I was like, this is great. Like I just like run across the screen. I don't know what's going on, and it's great because people just die. And I'm like, this is wonderful. All characters should be this easy to play. Anyway, now that that's out of the way, let's talk some gaming news for the week. So the biggest thing that I think has happened, it might not be the biggest thing, but the most recent thing that's happened is that 20 Bethesda games are coming to Game Pass, Xbox Game Pass, finally.
That's a big one, yeah.
I guess I'll just talk about the games that are coming and then get you guys' opinions on them. Those include Dishonored Definitive Edition, Dishonored 2, Doom 1993, Doom 2, Doom 3, Doom 64, Doom Eternal, The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, The Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim Special Edition, The Elder Scrolls Online, The Evil Within, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, Fallout New Vegas, Prey, Rage 2, Wolfenstein The New Order, Wolfenstein The Old Blood, and Wolfenstein Youngblood. All of these are coming to both console and PC, if I am correct, except for The Elder Scrolls Online. That's console only. No, I don't know. Whatever. So how you guys feeling about all these wonderful Bethesda games now that the deal, the ink is sealed on the deal in the EU and it's everywhere? Bethesda is now a part of Xbox. Obviously, we're going to get some exclusives out of them. How y'all feeling about this? All these games coming to Game Pass, all these Bethesda games.
You know how I feel about Xbox Game Pass.
I know you love it.
Big fan. The only problem I'm going to have with this is I won't have enough time to play it. And some of these I've actually bought on Steam for cheap, like some of the Fallouts. Like I think I have New Vegas and Fallout 4, which I never really played, but my boyfriend was like really, really into Fallout 4. Like I used to just watch him play for hours because he was just really into it. I think these are going to be awesome. I actually did want to try The Evil Within, so I'm definitely interested in that. But I think like Fallout 76, I never wanted to pay money for it, but I'll play it on Game Pass, you know?
To see.
The same thing, yeah, with like, yeah, I definitely want to play some of these games, specifically Fallout, and then I never wanted to pay for Skyrim again, either. But now, because, you know, why? And so now I can just have it on Game Pass, and I'm excited. And it's on my PC and my Xbox, so I'm like so into that. Like I can do whatever. I'm so excited. Even though, like I said, I'm playing Call of Duty right now, so I mean I don't really care about all these other games, but I think I will. As long as they stay on there. I hope they stay on there for a while, because it might take me a while to play through them.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I feel like they're gonna be. I hope they're gonna be like some of those more permanent titles.
Permanent, yeah. I really hope so.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I might as well just go. So when I read this list, I was like, dang, I either own all of these on PlayStation already, or I wasn't interested. Because like I already have Dishonored, and I got it for super cheap on PlayStation when it was on sale. And you know, I haven't played Skyrim. I'm probably never gonna try it, but I still thought it's really cool to see so many Bethesda games for free. What? Why are you laughing at me?
The game, man, it's fun.
It's gonna require too much of my time.
I was laughing at you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's just gonna require too much of my time.
That's the thing.
I'm never gonna.
The Fallouts and Elder Scrolls, like it just takes too much time.
Yeah.
Like they're so long.
Girl, I've told you before. Just if you want to play more games, just let go of some of your responsibilities. It's okay. No. Like just don't go to work. Don't go to work for an entire week and only edit on like one day, and that's it.
Who is gonna pay y'all? I don't understand. Okay.
Good question, but again,
okay, whatever. I'm just gonna take a week off. Yeah, I thought it was cool. A lot of the games are kind of meh for me. Like, I'm probably not going to play Doom. There are a couple of them I'm not going to play, but I was just really excited for how excited everyone else was to see all these Bethesda games on Game Pass for essentially for free or really cheap. I mean, you can grab all these games for $1 if you get a good deal. That's
right.
Pretty damn good. Although, like I said, most of them I already have on sale from a previous time, so But it's really cool. It's really cool. Like I'm excited for how excited Kellie is to be able to play these games. Like that makes me really happy.
I love free stuff.
Yeah, and I think this is a great push for Game Pass because I always complain that things that are on Game Pass either I'm not interested in or I've already played. This also falls into that category. But I think for a lot of people, I think the best part about it is like, let's say we all had Game Pass, we could all now just hop into Doom and not worry about it, right? Like we can all just hop up and play without having to worry about who has it and who doesn't because we all have Game Pass, and that is what gets me excited about it. Or me not having to spend money on a scary game like The Evil Within. Like I can try it out without having to purchase it just to know that I'm too much of a pussy to actually play it. So those are really cool. That made me excited. I was super happy about the announcement.
I think it's cool that they put their two bigger MMOs on there, the Elder Scrolls Online and Fallout 76. I think that was pretty cool because when I was I heard there's gonna be Bethesda games on Game Pass. I was like, okay, they're gonna put your basic, Fallout 4, Skyrim. And I looked at the list and I'm like, yeah, here are our biggest MMOs. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then for Elder Scroll fans, I think it's also cool. Like they went as far back as Morrowind because a lot of times people focus in on the latest two, which are Oblivion and Skyrim. So it's like, here, we're going to give you more blasts of the past. So that was pretty cool. This is the only nice thing I'll ever say about something Xbox related, by the way.
I have a question. Their MMOs, do they charge monthly for them? Or are they free to play?
No, as far as I know, Elder Scrolls Online is completely free.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure about Fallout 76. I don't remember.
On Steam, I think something on Steam said you had to have something for Fallout 76, but I played it one weekend for free. I don't remember those on Steam. I think you might have to, but what kind of service would it even be? They don't have it.
I've only heard trash about Fallout 76 until they supposedly fixed it, so I don't know. I've only heard that it was really bad.
About fixing it. I think the story just kind of stopped.
No, remember? I think it was during E3.
Oh yeah, no.
Presentation about what they were gonna change to the game, and they had a fake audience.
The apology direct, basically, is what I like to call it. Yeah, no, I do remember that because 76 did not meet its expectations, to say the damn least. And yeah, they had the apology saying that we'll fix it, and thank you guys who are still in there for supporting us as we get fixed this thing. So but what I'm saying is I never heard the positive. With No Man's Sky, now people are saying, oh, this game is really good now. Where Fallout 76, I've never heard this game is good now. I just stopped hearing bad stuff. So I don't know. I don't know if it had its redemption arc or people just if the bad news finally stopped. So it's bad neutral. Yeah. So I don't know.
They'll get players. That's for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, it's free now, essentially, if you have the Game Pass, right? Yeah.
I looked it up in the subscription. You don't need a subscription to play, but they have one. They have an option available.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right.
All right, what about you, Brandon?
Yeah, no, I was I have my phone up because I was looking through the list as we were talking about it. I think this is a pretty damn good list, honestly, going through the different games. And the thing is, I personally don't own any of these games, save for Fallout 4 because that's part of the PS Plus collection that's on PS5. I'm personally not interested in Doom because I played the 2016 as a demo, and I wasn't really into it. What's going on? What's all this?
Sorry, you just look so adorable with the hoodie on, and you're I'm just oh my god, Brandon, you literally look like a little Mario character. You look like you're running around 3D World or some shit. You're just adorable.
I feel like just jumping on the mountain with my sister Nana.
You're just
oh god, it's a blue hoodie too, so it's oh god.
You're literally like a Zelda elf right now. I don't know what you are, but you're something on a Nintendo, and it's just adorable. When you look away at your little phone, I'm like, oh my god, he's so cute.
Then I guess I'm on brand. Then I'm glad that this.
Okay, I'm sorry for it.
No, you're good. Yeah, continue on. The games, it's a really good list, and going back to what we were saying about Fallout 76. About how, like you said, that game had nothing but bad press to the point where people were saying, oh, Bethesda sucks.
Yeah.
And So for them to just throw, I think throwing off a list is not only just a good business move, but like, well, it's a good business move on both sides because it's Bethesda in a way being like, hey, Fallout 76, that wasn't great, but look at all these other great games that we had over the years. Remember that we have good games, and now you can play all those good games. And this is going to go a long way to, I feel, restoring Bethesda's goodwill and making people remember that, because ultimately, if all these games are like, free with your Game Pass subscription, there's, like you said, a lot more people are going to be playing these games that otherwise would not have. And then that brings in more fans. So even if you permanently lost fans due to Fallout 76, you're going to attract in a lot more new fans to replace the ones that left. And I think that's smart. And again, I ain't never going to complain about offering a bunch of quality games for a good price. Like there is definitely some gems in here. There's a few of them that at some point I would like to try myself. Like a friend of mine loves Dishonored. Like he always tells me, Dishonored is great. You got to play Dishonored. And he enjoyed Fallout 4, which I do own. So at some point I'm going to give that a try. And of course we got Gabe as our resident Skyrim master. So you already know that's quality there. And yeah. And Wolfenstein. I do want to try Wolfenstein. I have heard good things about it, so I do want to give that a try.
What's interesting is that the only Wolfenstein that I was going to play is not on the list.
With the newest one?
Yeah.
Oh,
I have it here literally unopened, so it doesn't even matter. Like it's literally still in the wrapping.
But that is what I'm saying. Like it's a very good list. There's a lot of good games there. That's great. There are of course some omissions. Like Evil Within 2 is not on there, but even though the first one is, and like you said, the new Wolfenstein isn't either. But Doom Eternal is on there, which is surprising because that came out just last year.
Yeah, and it was a Game of the Year contender.
Exactly. So that's
great addition.
Oh man, I still lovingly remember the memes from last year of Isabelle holding hands with Doomslayer and becoming best friends. It was
super cute.
It was the most wholesome that 2020 ever was.
And speaking of Xbox exclusives, there is an article over at Screen Rant that's titled "Xbox Exclusive Sci-Fi RPG Coming from Dark Souls Developers," which is totally a clickbait title because it just says that there's a possible tease from Xbox head Phil Spencer that may indicate a new sci-fi RPG from software is coming exclusively to Series X and S consoles. From software developer of Demon Souls, the Dark Souls series, Bloodborne, and 2019 Game of the Year Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, has become one of the most acclaimed developers in the gaming industry. It's also currently in the development of Elden Ring, which is never going to come out, of which no gameplay or official images have been released as of this writing, though there was that leak trailer. Anyway, in recent interviews with Spencer and Todd Howard, director of the recently acquired Bethesda Softworks, teasers for projects like Xbox Series S and the Indiana Jones games were hiding in the background. This has led to many fans analyzing these interviews for any possible clues. While Demon Souls and Bloodborne are PlayStation exclusive IPs, From Software has developed and published the Souls trilogy as a third party for PlayStation and Xbox consoles, PC, and even the Nintendo Switch. While many fans have wanted to follow up to the much-beloved Bloodborne, the Japanese developer has not revealed any plans for a sequel or even an update for the PS5. Not going to go through all of this, but essentially they're saying that there could possibly be a sci-fi RPG exclusive coming from the Dark Souls developers to Xbox. How would you guys feel about that?
A sci-fi... So I'm not the biggest Souls fan. It's just not my jam. But I appreciate what those games are. Like I've seen several playthroughs of Dark Souls. Like I love to watch that game. It's just less to play it. So I appreciate the hell out of that series. Now, given what the genres they've touched, Dark Souls is like high fantasy. Bloodborne is like gothic fantasy. Sekiro is like the historical Japanese fiction. I think a sci-fi version, a sci-fi take on their kind of formula would be a nice refreshing change, honestly. I think it's something a lot of people really want too, because it'd be something that they haven't really done, and I'd love to see what they do with it.
It would make me resub to Game Pass. That's it. I would just have to resub, play it, and then unsubscribe. Like, why would you do this? I honestly wouldn't even resub. I would probably just buy the game.
Yeah,
good too.
I know, Kelly, I know you love Game Pass. I think it's really great. I think the value is really great. I just don't see myself spending $15 a month on it currently just because I don't have enough time to play games. So I feel like I would just be sinking a lot of money and not playing anything. So I'd probably just buy the game.
Yeah, I haven't really...
I would love it. Sorry.
No, I haven't really played anything on it lately, but I just feel like the Medium was on there. I loved that game. I would definitely play some of these games. Like now that all these Bethesda games on there, like I'll probably like take a second look and actually start playing some of it because some of them I wanted to start playing. Like the Fallout series, I kind of wanted to play the whole thing through. Probably from like Fallout 3 or New Vegas, not all the way from the beginning because
I'll go back to 1 and 2.
No. I'd probably start. Yeah, I'd probably start with like 3 or New Vegas, or maybe even just New Vegas. I don't know. That one was pretty much like one of the better ones, so I've heard. I don't know, but
I want to do a New Vegas at some point because that's made by Obsidian. They made one of the a game I really like is Knights of the Republic 2. They made that one as opposed to BioWare. So yeah. I think New Vegas would be a lot of fun to play. But I'm sorry, continue.
No, like that would just be something that I'd probably pick it up. Now that it's on Game Pass, I'll probably actually play it. Whereas, because now I can play through them all, you know? Because I didn't have 76, so now I could play that one too, even though it's probably not related, but whatever.
I'm excited for the future of Game Pass. Like that's when I'll reset. When we finally get Halo Infinite on there, when we finally start getting all the like first party games that they bought these studios for, and they're finally coming out. Because I still have a list of games that I want to play from Xbox from when they had that presentation like last year or whenever it was. Like that is when they're gonna. I have I think 9 months worth of game cards for Game Pass that I'm just holding on to until there's, games that I actually want to play. I bought them like when they were super cheap. And so I'm ready. I'm just waiting for that moment where I can play Halo Infinite with my friends, and then I can play all the other games that I saw that I'm super excited to play. So I'm just holding on. I'm waiting for my moment on Xbox. So hurry up, y'all. I don't have shit to play. Just kidding. I have a bunch to play. Take your time. Did you want to hop in on that, Gabe, before I move on?
Just if they are made from software is making Xbox exclusive. That's what the hell was it? Sci-fi type game. I might have to kick a little Timmy for his Xbox and take it because from software, I love them. I'm not buying an Xbox to play one game, but I commit a crime for it.
Wow, I was on a. No, man. I was at someone's house, and I literally, for the first time, saw the Xbox Series S, like the white one. It's so small. Have you guys seen one in person?
No.
It's so tiny. I should have stolen it. It's so small. I would give it back.
Second thief.
It's so surprising. I was like, what is this? I didn't even know what it was until I looked at it. Because it was like facing forward, and I was like, "Is that an Xbox Series S?" And he was like, "Yeah." I was like, "What? I don't understand the concept of this tiny thing." Because I have the Series X, it was very confusing. So Ghost of Tsushima devs have been made permanent ambassadors of the Real Island, which was really cool.
That's really cool, yeah.
As well as, so something else is happening. Germany is looking into making games with loot boxes 18+. How you guys feel about that?
Bullshit.
Bullshit?
Yeah,
bullshit?
like one, I don't like loot boxes, so that's the entire thing. But like, you make them I wish I could speak because that'd make this a lot easier. But like, if you're required to be 18 or older to play a game with loot boxes, that either means the devs have to find a way to have like a parent, or what the hell is it called? A parental.
Can you say parental instead of parental? You're putting that.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Parental. What the hell is it, like a parental lock or something like in the game, so the kid can't get loot boxes. Yeah, Yeah, there we go. Those. I'm not gonna say it again because I was about to mess up the word again. But then like they'd have to find a way to have that toggled in the game, or you just wouldn't be able to make a game for kid to play because he can't use loot boxes.
Well, remember
I don't really agree with that.
remember that this has been like an issue before. This has been a little bit of a controversy before because people consider it gambling to the point where these developers have had to put in the drop rates for certain items because, you know, you're spending X amount of money and you're not getting what you want and you're going to keep going. Gambling's illegal, so I wasn't. But yeah, so it's bad, and I completely understand. Like, essentially, what they don't want is for children to start using these gambling-like mechanisms and then possibly start gambling. And I'm sure it could also be, you know, little Timmy is spending all his mom's money trying to get something out of a loot box. So I understand it. But how do you guys feel about it?
I get it, but like I don't like it.
Well,
first of all, okay, never mind. Actually,
well, what I was going to say. Go ahead, Kelly.
No, you can go.
All I was saying is like I'm kind of When loot boxes involve like actual currency, then it is kind of a form of gambling. How is it not? If it's real currency.
No, but I'm saying, when do they not? Because you usually in these games you have an option to you can earn them, but then you still have the option to purchase them. That's why they're there. That's how they make the money.
Yeah. Most games that have like a loot box or like any kind of gacha system, almost I would say 90% of them, if it even has that mechanic, it will have like real currency. I think the only example I can think of actually that has a loot gacha system that requires no real money, just in-game currency, is actually the base game of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, where you can get like additional like blades that is like an in-game gacha system, but it's like using in-game currency. No real money is involved, and that's really rare. A game like that, that's whatever. It's in-game currency that you can get from like defeating enemies or whatever. But if we're talking about real money, then it's gambling. And like if they're not going to implement parental controls, like Gabe was mentioning, to make it so that you can't like make these purchases without like a password or something like that. Then that would kind of force Germany's hand because,
it literally doesn't even matter. Oh, sorry, I thought you were done.
I'm mostly done. I'm just saying that like it just depends on the game. I just don't see a lot of people going to the extra effort to introduce this like parental control system for their loot box or gacha system, and so that's how they feel about it. That's how the government feels about it, because I can't necessarily disagree. You are using real money and may not be getting what you want. So
it doesn't matter because there are rated M games right now that children are playing. Like, literally log into GTA 5 and tell me that half of those kids are not under the age of 16. Like,
you're right. It doesn't matter, but it kind of washes at least the government's hand in the situation, because like, hey, we told them we told them it's rated M. And then if the parents complain now that their credit card account is now slowly draining, then you're the one that bought them the 18 game.
Yeah, I was talking about this earlier today in chat, but I am obsessed with Final Fantasy Brave Exvius on my phone. That game makes like $2 million a month, the global version, which blew my mind because I was like, how many people are spending money on this? But I mean, Final Fantasy Brave Exvius War of the Visions, I mentioned, made either $16 or $19 million last month. And I was like, how many of y'all people are spending that much money on a mobile gacha? $19 million for 1 month. That is a lot of money. And then I also mentioned Genshin Impact, which I don't even remember the number. Do you remember the number that I said, Brandon?
Oh, I don't, but it was humongous. It dwarfed that. It was
like prices. 80 million, I think, or $81 million. And I'm like, this is why people are saying that gambling is a problem, because y'all spent that much money. Like, that's not okay. I mean, but it's great for them. It's amazing for those companies, which is why I completely see why companies continue to do loot boxes, because how much money has Overwatch made on people purchasing loot boxes for specific events?
Right.
We've seen, streamers opening loot boxes on stream as like a thing. So these games that are, you don't have to develop as hard as you might have to develop something else, and you still get so much money from them.
The only thing that I will say is, because gambling, I just looked up the definition because I actually wanted to see. It's playing games of chance for money. You're not like playing for money. I would say, like, I don't think loot boxes technically, they are similar to gambling, and I guess to children that could be like gambling, but you're not winning money. That's why gambling is so addictive, because you're winning money. Like, you could change your life, you know?
But
Like,
you're winning that thing that you want, and that's the gambling
but
mechanism
then
that they're worried about.
every arcade game is gambling then.
But then you're
Going to a
spending
claw
money.
machine.
Yeah,
Like,
essentially.
You're spending.
Oh no, yeah,
Yeah.
claw machine is actually considered gambling.
Well, then, okay, then it's gambling, but those are marketed at children. I don't understand the difference.
No,
Yeah.
there isn't really a difference. It's also bad. That's the problem.
I mean, I don't know. I guess, to be honest, for it to be fair, some people have a more addictive personality, and they will end up gambling all their money away on games. Gabe is raising his hand. If you're only listening,
Thank you.
yeah. What?
No, keep going because I have a story on that.
No, like, seriously though, then every arcade game is gambling. I mean, I guess it technically is, but I just don't understand. Like if someone wants to spend their money on, like, it's a game though. Like, it'd be like spending your money on a lot of different things.
But it's so the difference is there's a chance that you won't get that thing, right? Like, I think there's a big difference between logging into a video game, wanting an outfit for my character, and going and purchasing that outfit and having it, or there's a 1% chance of getting this outfit that I want, and I have X amount of loot boxes. To increase my chances, I'm gonna have to pay money, and I can spend $1, I can spend $100, I can spend $1,000, and still not get it. And that's when it becomes something that's like, I want to keep doing this until I get what I want while I have the opportunity to get it. And that's the difference when it comes to game. I guess that's the
I never think of something I actually want to get from the loot box when I do it. Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, I'm thinking of, like, Apex. Like, you just get loot boxes the more you play, and it's just random shit. Like, I'm never like, oh, I want this, because you're going to be fucking disappointed. You're not going to get that. I mean, they need to just set those expectations beforehand. But I guess putting the percentage of how much of a chance you have would be part of that.
Yeah, so like I said, I play Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. Right now, there's an event for Final Fantasy 13, which is one of my favorite Final Fantasy games, and there was Lightning, the character Lightning. If you want her, there was literally a 2% chance to get her, right? So I was like, I want this girl. So I spent all my in-game money trying to get her. I didn't get her, and then I was like, do I buy more in-game money to continue to try to get this 2% chance? And the worst part is it's a timed event, so I have 1 week to figure out what I'm going to do. And so when it comes to that, and it's, you know, this character is actually game-breaking for the way that I play the game. It's going to change the way that the game works. So I'm like, how much money am I about to spend to try to get this in-game thing that I only have a 2% chance to get? Like, luckily I didn't spend any money, and I was able to get it. But that's why this game makes $2 million a month. Like, I mean, like, that's why War of the Visions makes $19 million or made $16 million last month, because that gambling aspect. Like, I was doing summons for this game, and my friend was like, don't do any right now because you want to save for Final Fantasy 15. I started, and I did like 45 today, and I was supposed to do 1. Why? Because I was addicted to gambling. I looked, I was like, oh my god, I just did this 45 times. What's wrong with me? And I still didn't even get what I want. So, like, I completely understand the aspect of, like, how addictive it is, because that shit. I think loot boxes are a little different, though. I will say that I think loot boxes are a little different than that type of gacha mechanic, because it's usually not something that's necessary that you need to play the game, whereas, like, the gacha thing is kind of like you kind of need that to continue on with the way that you play the game. So it is different. So I kind of agree with Kellie in that aspect. But I also understand, like, I just spent 45 tickets today, and I was like, what did I do? Like, I can't spend real money on this. I don't want to contribute to that $2 million a month. It's a free to play game.
Hey, Drew, I have a question about that, actually. Does Brave Exvius have pity rates at all?
Some of them do, and some of them don't.
Ooh, variable, huh?
So like sometimes it'll be spend like, and then there are also different prices. So like the last one was cost like 45,000, and you have to do that 11 times. You have to do 11 summons for 45,000 so that you can get the unit, which is a lot. Or sometimes it'll be like right now it's 5,000, and I think you have to do 5,000 8 times to get the unit. Which like who finna pay for that? Not me. I don't have no money. Apparently they're making $2 million a month. Give it to me for free. Like, I don't understand. It's not affecting you, Square. But also, Square Enix is making a shit ton of money. After I saw that, I was like, well, I mentioned like this is why they're making that random ass Final Fantasy VII mobile game, because they're making 16 million in Japan monthly. Like, of course you make more mobile.
Yeah,
you make more money with more mobile.
the gacha games bring in a lot of money because there's one I play. This is a Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle one. I just looked it up, and they made I think it was like 2.6 billion in lifetime revenue. And
billion revenue. Wow.
There's a Reddit group that I'm in with them, and like there was only one time I've ever like. I'm sure my mom's not hearing this because this will actually get me flat. So there was one time there was 2 new characters coming out. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and was another villain, Omega Shenron. I wanted Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta because it's one of my favorite characters in all the anime. And I had like the in-game currency for that game is they're called Dragon Stones. I had about 500 Dragon Stones saved. I'm like, there's no way I'm not gonna not get them. I have 500 stones.
Oh
So
no!
I didn't get them. So I was like, damn, I didn't get him after 500 stones. And the thing is, what they do is when a lot of these big name characters come out, they like to have these sale events for the Dragon Stones. So I'm like, shit. You're telling me there's a $10 discount on the $100 stone, the 100 stone pack? I'm gonna buy that. You know how many times I bought that damn pack?
How many?
Ended up wasting $450.
What? $450
to get that one character and
to get Gogeta? Are you serious? Oh my god!
Okay, because look, the only justification I have for that isn't even a good one. He was such a new character, but the thing is, he was so broken in game that like everyone wanted him, and I was like, yeah. So, long story short. I didn't get them after spending all that money.
You can't be serious.
So after that day, I was like, you know what? I am never ever again spending money on a gacha game.
Did you say you never got him?
But you hear me?
Never got him.
You spent $400.
Yeah, I never got him. I got him a couple of months later when he came back.
Yeah. How much did you spend then?
A couple of months later.
For free that time.
Free. Because after that day, I was like, I'm never spending real money again. And so you think, $450 is a lot. Last July, same game just finished having their 5th anniversary, and they had 2 new game-breaking units. And thankfully, I got them with the in-game currency I already had. But I went onto the Reddit group, and there was one guy who he was like the title was "I'm quitting Dokkan Battle," and I'm like, oh. He got bored of the game. I go into the game. This guy had spent $2,500 for in-game currency. So, thank goodness I never got that bad. But
bro, you were $50 away from a PS5. Like
I have a PS5 though. Come on. But yeah, so like that's just like that's kind of just a look into like how these games, because again, when Jerel came and said that in the chat, he was very surprised by it. But me, who I've been in like this game genre for a while, I see how much people pay. I'm like, that kind of makes sense. What is so funny?
I'm laughing because in my mind, Jerel's out here posting these numbers on like the mobile sales, and you're like the monkey with the side eyes, like.
Oh, because I saw Kellie laughing, and I was like, is there something behind me?
450.
Yeah, so Jerel posted that, and I was like,
money is we spend on those mobile games. Like, I wonder why.
It's because I don't ever think that, like when I saw it, I was like, well, yeah, totally, that makes sense. Although War of the Vision still doesn't make any sense to me, because the Japanese side and the global side are like hugely different. Like one of them is $2 million, the other one's like $16 million. So it also depends on like, interest and stuff, and it fluctuates. But for free-to-play games, bringing in $2 million a month, it doesn't even sound like a lot compared to Dragon Ball Z or even Genshin Impact. But those numbers
insane.
Yeah, like you don't. I just don't assume that mobiles are bringing in a company, $18 million, $19 million in 1 month. Like I can see that as cumulative revenue, but I don't assume that, and it doesn't. And I think those numbers surprise me the most because it's not consistently that much every month. Like sometimes it'll be 5,000, sometimes it'll be 5 million, sometimes it'll be 8 million. But then you also see some that are only making 500,000, and I say only, but that's still people spending money on free to play titles. So it's just that's surprising to me. But now that I know you spend $450, I see why it's not surprising to you. Like, it all makes sense now. So moving on, I'm sure that you guys all saw that lovely Burger King tweet for International Women's Day, in which they started by saying women belong in the kitchen, but then they finished by saying if they want to, and they were doing a promotion for allowing to hire more diversity at Burger King, which was just a really bad joke. It was just done really horribly. You guys can weigh in on it if you want, but KFC gaming, because KFC has their own console. Let's not forget.
The chicken console.
Don't know why, but they have their own console. They said
it's finger looking good.
Gaming. Yeah, it's finger looking good, yes. And they said thank you to all the writers, actors, producers, CEOs, and more who have who have played their part in creating games we enjoy every day. They, along with some other people and other companies, came forward to say happy International Women's Day. Real quick, anybody want to say anything about that debacle?
Yes.
Wow, so that social media team, guys. How did that get through? How did?
I just want to say, as the only woman here, I really thought it was funny.
Okay.
But I think the reasoning that they gave for taking it down
was... it down? I didn't even know they took it down.
Burger King took it down. Yes.
Okay.
Because they said the reason was because people were quote tweeting it and saying really horrible things. And they were getting like bad replies. They didn't really take it. They stood by their original messaging, but people were quote tweeting. Yeah. But to be honest, when I saw it, I would have never clicked on a Burger King UK tweet at all. Why would I? And then when I read that, I was like, I gotta fucking click this. And I did. And I was not disappointed. It was like, I was like, it's so funny. And like, but why? Like, I don't know. I was like torn between like, this is hilarious because it's kind of so terrible, but like being so cringe at the thought of them posting that, like, I don't know. And then like, they were like, it sucks because they were actually like doing a scholarship and supporting women in culinary. They're actually doing good, but made a misogynistic joke. Like, I enjoyed it for all the wrong reasons, I think, because it was. Yeah. But I did click it, and I was like, "This is something. Anyways, I'm sorry I interrupted.
No, you're good because I definitely do think that like the tweet was put as it was for the sake of the clicks, both from the good and bad. Again, I do think the actual messaging itself was really good. I enjoy that. It's just the fact that was made for the hate clicks or the or as in your case, Kelly, the ironic funny clicks.
Mm-hmm.
Just like it's scummy, and I'm wondering, like when I repeat the question, how did it get through? Like maybe that's the answer. Maybe because they knew people would click on it for that reason, as opposed to like if they had like there's two other ways that could have gone about it. They could have started with women belong in the kitchen if they want to, of course, and make that one sentence, or they could have just said all of their scholarship opportunities and then ended the tweet with women belong in the kitchen. And, but they chose to go this route. And, it's even though it's a good message, I feel like the clickbaity tweet did more harm than good, and that's a shame because I really like what they were trying to do here.
I just imagined them in a room being like, this is gonna be so funny. Once they open the tweet thread, it's gonna be great, and we're supporting. And then it came out, and they were just like, this is not funny anymore. But they knew that it wasn't bad, so they stood by it for a long time because they knew that it wasn't bad. Like, they knew what their message was. I saw it and I eye rolled and I was like, why would y'all do this? And I didn't think it was funny at all, but I don't get like the ironic humor in it. I just thought, I feel like it could have been funnier if there was an actual joke behind it. I feel like that had just been, for me personally, I'm obviously not a girl, but I just thought, like, that's been so overdone. Like, it's been so overused that it's not funny to me specifically. Like, if they had actually done a joke about women being in the kitchen, like, with something about, you know, go make me a sandwich if you want to, or something, like, I don't know. I just, like, women belong in the kitchen didn't sound like a joke. It sounded like a demand. And so...
Yeah, like if there's a period at the end.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's why it
the
wasn't funny.
Women belong in the kitchen.
Done. Like, that's it.
That's the end of the tweet. That's the end of the tweet.
And so I think it's so simple. Like, it could have just been rewording it somehow or using a more updated joke, and I would not have been so eye-rolly at it. But I just think the way that it was presented wasn't funny to me personally, but I don't have a vagina. So, you know, I just, it was just like, guys, this isn't funny. Like, it's outdated jokes. No, it wasn't for me. I love the thread, though. I was like, yeah, if they want to, yeah, you should have probably done a better joke.
Maybe lead in that.
Okay, that's
the end of that joke.
Like, after the initial tweet, I
was just like...
And then I went like, if they wanted to, of course, that made me laugh. I was like, okay, I understand now.
That's why I don't get it, because that's not a joke. Women belong in the kitchen if they want to be. Yeah, I mean, yes. Like,
I found it funny not because of the sentence, but because of how they put it. Because the tweet by itself was "women belong in the kitchen." Period. Tweet 2, if they want to, of course, and that's what made me laugh. The fact that it's the second tweet.
Not
like if it was one sentence, like it would have been less cringy, but it wouldn't have been funny. But in this case, it's funny. It was terrible. It's like,
I don't get jokes anyway because Kellie and Gabe both sent jokes.
You don't. You really don't. You really don't.
I shouldn't be talking about this. Like, they said,
we'll explain the joke. We'll take that joke apart and explain it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We'll say a joke, and then you'll get your whiteboard and be like,
that's over my head. So I'm clearly
just
person to comment on this.
I will never put anything funny in the Slack again. Honestly, I thought that Jerel was saying he didn't get it because he was offended. I was like, did I just offend Jerel? But I don't know. And then Gabe's like, he doesn't get it. And I'm like, oh, I thought it was pretty obvious.
It's because literally in general, I'm always explaining a joke to him. And it's like,
sometimes I have to explain a joke too, but you definitely gave more.
I was like,
then there's times where I just give up. Like, he's like, what does this mean? I'm like, I'm just not going to answer. I'm going to open the message and lock my phone.
Pretend it didn't happen. Just pretend it didn't happen.
Literally.
Like, no, Kellie's never going to post a joke, but I just really don't understand. Like, I was reading it and I was like, I genuinely don't understand this. And then Gabe explained it and I was like, oh, I guess? Like, I still don't get it. So
it's just not funny to him. Yeah.
So jokes are just not funny to me. So, I mean, Burger King, y'all, I'm not the audience, clearly.
But, I mean, the thing is with the Burger King tweet, to me, personally, as someone who, like, spends a lot of time on social media, there's just so many levels wrong to this particular tweet. I mean, one, the joke itself, you know, like Jerel said, it's outdated.
Sorry, I just found the joke.
See, and now he laughs at it like 2 weeks later.
So dumb. Like, it's not even funny.
Okay, continue.
I thought it was funny, Kellie.
I also thought it was funny.
That was the first. To me, that's the first like strike. But then the other thing is that even if you're sitting in, I'm gonna slap him one day. Even if you're sitting in a room with other people and you're like, how can we make something that's gonna gain attention and you know it's gonna attract the younger audience? You just have to think because Twitter works in a way that as much as you think it's going to happen and you think it's going to change, people aren't going to read something completely before they comment on it. So that tweet had a good, I think, 200,000 more
quote retweets.
Quote retweets than it did actual retweets and likes. And then, Burger King went on into their thread to explain, like, we're doing this to gain attention. Homie, I just had it, but I don't feel like opening up my phone again. So their original tweet had, I think, 800, 200, 820,000 quote retweets, and then the tweet that was offering the scholarship had like 3 retweets and I think 1,021 likes. So it's like, we get what your thought process was. It was garbage. Don't ever try it again.
Okay.
I feel like with something like that, you didn't need to start out with a joke because it was International Women's Day. You're a verified fast food restaurant account. Could have just been like offering scholarships to culinary school, # International Women's Day. So tough luck for them. Hope you'd never have to.
You finally get it. Yeah.
My joke.
No, I still don't. I'm not laughing. I don't understand this one. Time for
because you have to open the link to Instagram and you have to swipe.
Anyways, no, but back to Burger King. Seriously though, I the thing is that you can like scroll through Twitter and you can just see that tweet that women belong in the kitchen and you can just retweet or like it without seeing the rest of the thread.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like maybe if there's a thread, it should have to be shown there or something because it was like you couldn't avoid it. You couldn't avoid it. It was like, or not that you couldn't avoid it. I guess you could avoid the rest of the thread without like.
The reason I know that is because it was a lot of just quote tweets of the original and people being like, Burger King, this is bad. So I didn't actually see the thread until like an hour later, and I was like, let me go look at this so I can bring it up in the podcast. And I was like, oh, this is a thing. Like this was a joke. I get it.
Yeah.
Also, Gabe, I didn't know. I just swiped. I get it now. That's actually funny. The 3 seconds.
But the thing is, I literally said.
All right, whatever. So
yeah, you have to open it up on Instagram and see the rest of the slide. Hold on, that's everybody else listening. It's a joke. It's a joke of a dude in jail, and the cop is saying, "Time for lunch, newbie." So the next slide says he's the newbie is talking to the other guy. He goes, "So what did you do?" And the guy's like, "I killed a bunch of people. What'd you do?" And he's like, "I accidentally played music for 3 seconds on my stream," which is a running thing that we have on here because remember we were talking about how some lawmaker was trying to make it a felony to put copyrighted music on your stream, and that was the joke. That was not even funny to me anymore because I just had to explain it.
I just didn't understand.
Jerel laughing later at a joke is the equivalent of. Do you guys remember that scene in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World where Chris Evans is just walking away from Scott and he just picks up?
That's actually hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, I've never seen that movie, so another reference.
Damn it!
Don't watch that movie because you're not gonna get a lot of the jokes. You're not gonna get a lot of the jokes if you can't even get an Instagram slide joke.
I didn't know it was whatever. So Call of Duty Warzone is celebrating his first birthday by letting you see your kills, wins, and more. Anybody playing it aside from Kelly?
I'm not playing Modern Warfare. I'm playing Black Ops Cold War. There's a difference.
Warzone.
I'm not playing Warzone either.
Oh, okay, well.
Yeah. So Warzone is like the free to play version that we played.
Mm-hmm.
So, honestly, I was about to play Warzone the other day. It's a separate download from Black Ops Cold War, even though you can access Warzone in Black Ops Cold War. They're like, you need to download this. I'm like, I have to have both of them downloaded. It's so stupid.
We've been doing that forever.
So I didn't.
When Modern Warfare came out, you have to download each individual thing. Like when there's an update, you don't update the entire game. It's you update what you want, and like you'll go into the game and tell like, oh, you need update so and so to play multiplayer. I'm like, you just updated the fucking game. Like, what are you doing? So it's Call of Duty's just lost their marbles with updates. I
think it's literally because you can then choose what you want it. Because like if you don't want to do the campaign or if you don't want to do any of that, you can just download Warzone and just play that. right? Like it allows you to.
Yeah. Well, Warzone is like a standalone free mode.
Yeah. But there's another point of Call of Duty just pumping a shit ton of memory into all their updates. Because there was that article a couple of, I don't know if it was weeks or days ago, where you can't, if you own a PS4, the 500 terabyte PS4, you cannot play the entire game because the entire update is over 500 gigabytes, which I think is bullshit. But, it's Call of Duty and people are going to keep feeling their nipples.
What?
I was going to say something else, but I was going to say something else, but I was like, I have to find something weirder. But yeah.
It was better.
It wasn't, but it kept me from cursing.
Okay.
I still play Warzone though.
I guess.
So you showed me this that instead.
Well, also, EA Sports FIFA has an announcement. They said that we are aware of the allegations currently circulating within our community related to FIFA 21 Ultimate Team items. A thorough investigation is underway, and if we identify improper conduct, we will take swift action. We want to be clear. This type of behavior is unacceptable, and we in no way condone what is alleged to have happened here. We understand how this creates concern about unfair balance in the game and competition. We will update the community as we get more clarity on the situation. That was from FIFA 21, because over at GameStop.com, there's an article titled EA Gate Scandal Alleges EA Employee Sold FIFA 21 Ultimate Team Icon Cards. And the article goes on to say that the card offering icon card packages were ranging from 750 to 1,000 euros, which is roughly $840 to $1,200. One package of Prime Icon Moments cards are even offered for 1,700 euros or $2,000. At one point, the seller assures the potential buyer that there's no risk of being banned, but can't say why for security reasons. So essentially, to sum that up, there is a FIFA 21 employee selling these ultimate rare cards to players, promising that they won't get banned for it. And somebody snitched, and they've been found out. I'm assuming somebody snitched and they've been found out. Anybody want to weigh in on that?
Stitches get stitches. I'm kidding. I'm joking. I don't know, man. He's just making a little extra money on the side. Maybe he wasn't getting paid enough, and he's like, fuck it. Fuck it.
So the thing is, some players, as this article says, quote, some players spend thousands on packs attempting to obtain the rare cards. So, like, it's kind of that gotcha thing we were talking about. People spend $450 to try to get something that someone can sell you.
$450 ain't seem so bad to 1,000 now, does it?
I mean, yeah, they're spending $840 to get something that someone can sell you. Instead of spending thousands, you could just buy it for $840 from a guy who works at FIFA. Which,
it might, yeah.
I mean, you could probably get it for cheaper if you get it in the game.
Oh no, yeah, of course.
But that's
the guy's probably just got to feed a family.
First of all, y'all stop buying all this in-game shit for so much money. Stop it. What's gonna happen in 3 years when your game shuts down? Well, Gabe's game is not gonna shut down because it makes so much money. But what happens when no one's playing FIFA 21 anymore? Nah. Then what you gonna do with that $2,000 you spent?
Aren't you allowed to transfer your cards to the next game?
I don't know.
Ooh, okay, sure.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Honestly, the thing is that some people, if you're only going to play one game, I see how you could spend so much, but, realistic, because, you would spend more on buying a lot more games.
Sure.
But at least you're getting something, not just, some in-game collectible.
And that's the thing,
I think that's the thing, though.
Yeah, go ahead. You first, Gabe.
I think that's the thing, though, because you have to look at it through, a collector's standpoint, because again, we do still have the opportunity to physically collect all these other things. They have a shit ton of statues and stuff. But then, for some people, they take their collection even further and it goes digital. So, for me, since I play a card game, I know when the game shuts down, it's not going to be playable, but I'm still going to have access to looking at the artwork and whatever. So there's some people that I think it's a lot more to them. So, I need to get this special golden edition Messi card.
Yeah. That's when I take selfies of myself because I look good, but I never look at them again, I don't know if I would go back and look at a card,
This reminds me of, I don't know if you guys heard, but they're doing that, I think it's the NBA digital cards that they're selling currently.
Yeah.
Where you can literally just buy, so that's what it's called, Top Shot, where you can buy someone's best moments in like GIF form for like $2,000, but you don't really own it. Like, I don't know why anyone would buy any of these, but they're selling like crazy. They're like the new collectibles where it's just like a GIF of your favorite player and their best moments.
It's literally like you can literally just wait like 2 seconds for like ESPN or Bleacher Report to put up the picture of that one moment.
But that's what this reminds me of. It's like y'all just want to spend money at this point because like.
I just think there's like such like in the collective world, there's just so much like obviously because we're not like heavy collectors like that. So I guess it doesn't make sense to us. But
a tangible collectible thing, like you can YouTube what you just purchased.
It's not the same, man. It's like me YouTubing someone getting a PS5 and unboxing it.
But you don't own it. Like it's literally like a GIF. Like you don't own that video. You can say that you own it.
I thought we were going back to the FIFA thing.
So Square Enix is launching their own digital showcase next week, featuring a new Life is Strange, among other things. Let me pull up this press info from Square's email. Hold on.
Gabe was talking about like discontinued stuff and collections. I just pulled this up because I just remember these now. I have these in Japan. They have like this Fire Emblem trading card game that got discontinued, but I remember I was interested in some of the cards. Christy was getting some booster packs, so I was like, "Hey, can you get me one? I'll send you money." And then she sent me them. I'm just going through my cards now. I got like this cool Mercedes card here. This is like her time skip design, but it has the long hair, which I really like. And then there's like this autographed. I don't know if it's like a real autograph, but it's like an autograph like Byleth female card, which is like really super shiny and stuff. So these cards are like really cool. So I'm glad that I can still hold these, even though the card game never came to America and it doesn't exist anymore. Just wanted to put that out there while Jerel gets the list up.
You want to know why? Because there is probably another card game in Japan that said, no, there's only space for one. And that card game was this guy. Dragon Ball Hero ones.
What? Yeah, room. Pokemon doesn't exist. Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't exist.
Cards. So the Square Enix Presents is going to be roughly 40 minutes and include the world premiere of the next game in the critically acclaimed and award-winning Life is Strange series, featuring all new protagonists wielding an exciting new power. So there's also, well, really quick, I have not played a Life is Strange game, but I'm super excited to because I love how diverse these titles have been. They always include really diverse main protagonists, and the first one was about LGBT stuff. The second one was about a Hispanic family and being separated and dealing with border patrol and all that other stuff. So I'm super excited to see what the third title is going to be about. There's also going to be Outriders, the high intensity RPG shooter set in an original dark and desperate sci-fi universe, coming out on April 1st. Balan Wonderland, which arrives on March 26th. The ongoing celebration for the 25th anniversary of Tomb Raider, which if you told me that was still going, I wouldn't know because I haven't seen shit about it. Marvel's Avengers, the story-driven third-person action-adventure game from Crystal Dynamics. Upcoming action shooter Just Cause Mobile. New mobile game announcements from the award-winning Square Enix Montreal studio, and a look at a few of the whimsical games from the Square Enix sister company Taito. So that's all the stuff we can look forward to in this 40-minute presentation. And I believe they're going to continue with these going forward. They're going to basically have their own directs, except for not Nintendo, Square Enix. And I know that we talked a little bit about companies doing this on their own now, but how do you feel about this lineup? What Square's going to be showing off?
Just Cause Mobile.
Hey, we just talked about how much mobile games make.
I love Just Cause, so because I am rico. Anyways.
Oh my god, so speaking of Just Cause, they had a Just Cause Final Fantasy Brave Exvius crossover event. So
wait, really?
The characters, yeah, from Just Cause. They've had
how many other Square Enix characters are getting?
They've had Octopath, they've had Ariana Grande, they have Katy Perry, they have had they're gonna have Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood soon with tag units coming out. They have crossovers for everything. And this is why they make so much money. Sorry.
Has Life is Strange characters come to the game yet?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
It might be next. I mean, who knows? They're all Square Enix, so
has Chrono I'm sorry, last question about Exvius. Has Chrono characters come?
I have no
Damn
idea.
It.
I've never played. Okay. There's a lot of units though. So
Yeah, that's
I hope I can get Primrose because I missed out on Octopath because I wasn't playing at the time. So
damn. Well, I guess to weigh in on what I was thinking about the announcements, pretty interesting that Square Enix is doing a presents that's not focusing on any JRPGs. I think that's, for me personally, I'm like, aw, but I like the JRPGs. But I also think that's really cool because people really know Square Enix for their JRPGs. So to do an entire showcase based on their stuff that's not that, I do think that if we're talking like an objective sense, I think that's really good. They're talking about like the new Life is Strange. I know people love Life is Strange. Just Cause, Outriders, Avenger stuff. Hopefully, there's good stuff there because it needs it. But yeah, no, I think it's cool that that they're giving a shout out to the stuff. And who knows, maybe down the road that if this is like a Square Enix presents, they do like maybe 2 or 3 of these a year. There's always a chance that we can get another one later with the JRPG stuff that I like Final Fantasy 16. Hopefully, I'd love some information on 16. It'd be cool. But I think this is all that to say.
it reminds me of a Nintendo Direct Mini, or what are they, like the indies or Nindies, whatever.
Showcase things what you're thinking about.
That's what I'm thinking about. It reminds me of those. It's kind of like we have our big JRPG stuff in the big PlayStation one, and then don't forget we're also working on all these other games. So here's a time for all the games that we're working on to shine. I think personally it's really awesome that they're doing their own their own segments now, because I think we've kind of lost in the sauce when it comes to games, right? Like we only get announcements when don't laugh at me. We only get announcements at like these big events. Like I don't know when Xbox is gonna do one. I don't know what Xbox is coming out. Tales of Arise had a new trailer the other day, like randomly on their site. I've been looking forward to that. I had no idea that should drop. Like there's so many things that are just getting lost. So I think it's really cool that Square, which is a huge company that has a bunch of titles under their belt, is starting to do this. I'm happy Nintendo did it. I'm happy Square's doing it. And like you said, Brandon, I'm happy that they're doing it for some of their smaller titles, because obviously we're gonna get like this reminds me of when Square Enix had their E3 presentation, and I was like, oh my god, best presentation of the year. We know we're gonna get Final Fantasy 16. We know we're gonna get more Final Fantasy 7 remake stuff. They're gonna do it at like the big PlayStation things because that's where their money's coming from. That's where their partnership is. But all their other stuff deserves some shine too. So I'm going to be watching this in the same way that I would watch a Direct. This is essentially a Nintendo Direct for Square Enix. I think it's great.
Correct. Yeah, I'm very happy actually that more companies are doing this. I think Directs generate hype. So other companies clearly noticed that. So obviously Sony's one of the first to jump on that with the State of Play that they do. Xbox did theirs. They don't do it as frequently, but they have the Inside Xbox where they'll do stuff like that. Square Enix is now doing theirs. Ubisoft had the UB Forwards. And then the Stadia, rip Stadia Connects, that where they would present Stadia stuff. So everyone's getting in on it. And you know what? I'm about it. Yeah. I'm about it because I think it's a really good way. If you have a lot of announcements, it's a good way to get all that information out there, because a lot of people will tune in, like, if they care. Like what Kellie brought up last time when we were talking about the Nintendo Direct. If you care about Nintendo, you're going to see the Direct, and then you'll see some stuff that you'll care about, or maybe some stuff you won't. But if you're interested in the company by default, then you'll check it out. And even if you're not interested, people will be tweeting and posting on social media about what they cared about. And then you'll see it. And then you'll be like, oh, wow, they announced that there? Ooh, I can't wait for that. And then maybe you'll go ahead and find the trailer independent of the Direct. And then you're excited. Mm-hmm. It's great.
And The Last of Us is going to... not The Last of Us, oh my god. Life is Strange is going to bring a lot of people because that series is pretty popular. Marvel's Avengers is going to bring a lot of people because they're still playing that game. Looking at this list, Outriders is supposed to be one that... Outriders just had that free demo out, I believe. So, people are going to want to watch to see how that develops. Balan Wonderland, we should probably be getting some updates from the demo that was out then, like what's coming up from what we got from that. So this looks like it's going to be a lot of updates of games that people have been looking forward to. And with COVID and not being able to get these things together, I think this is perfect decision, perfect example. I love Square Enix. I'm super excited.
I think that's another good point too that you brought up, that with this list that is coming on the Square Enix Presents, we can't be certain that every single game that's on the list is everything they're going to show. But even if it's
40 minutes, so
yeah, it's 40 minutes. So like, I can't imagine that's everything, but that's clearly like their main spotlight stuff that they're going to be showing off. And I think there's a certain I think there's a good merit to whenever you have a direct presents whatever, selling like some of the games that are going to be there, so people who are interested are gonna tune in. Like for example, the last Nintendo Direct was like saying, "Hey, tune in for roughly 50 minutes of new Nintendo news coming in the first half of 2021 with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate." So people that already like Smash gonna tune in regardless because they want to know what's going on in Smash. Now, that being said, the Smash thing was the first thing, so they could have very well tuned out afterwards if they got their character. I can't say people didn't, but I would assume that if you already tuned into this, to be there live to watch this, I figure unless you're really busy, you might as well stick around. That's what I'm thinking anyway. All that to say that I think it's cool when you maybe tease one or two things that will be in your presentation just to get a little more interest than the raw, everything is a surprise.
Completely agree. You guys don't care?
I mean,
it's okay.
It's cool. It's just like you said, it's cool that a lot of these small titles aren't getting lost in the sauce, so I guess.
I feel like you just wanted to say lost in the sauce because I said
it.
Yep. When is this happening again?
Oh, hey, Brandon, I just closed the email.
March 16th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. I can't translate. I think that's what.
What time? What specific?
I can't do that in my head.
10 a.m. Pacific.
So 1 p.m.
3 hours, later.
Cool. Thank you.
So, next thing I wanted to talk about is Twitch's LGBTQIA+ tag. So I know that some people have been using that tag that aren't LGBTQIA+, because of apparently Twitch's marketing. So LGBTQIA+ is lesbian, gay, bi, trans, queer, intersex, and asexual. But the way that Twitch has promoted it, they make it seem like the A stands for ally, and so straight people have been using the LGBTQIA+ tag. And there was a thread that I was reading that was kind of talking about what that means when you have, LGBT people that come into your stream, and how you should be prepared if you're going to use that tag, because if they want to talk about something that pertains to them, like, maybe they want to come out on to you personally, or maybe they want to ask about your experiences, or maybe they want to ask about, how they can help, etc. If you have that tag, and even though you are not an LGBT member and you have that tag, do you think that means that you have the responsibility to first of all, do you think that people should, my question is, do you think that straight people should use the LGBTQIA+ tag with the way that Twitch has advertised it? And if so, do you think those people have a responsibility when using that tag?
As someone who streams on Twitch, I'm a straight person, so I do not use the tag. And I've seen streams that do, and mostly they are part of the LGBT community. But there was like a backlash whenever they first dropped this tag, I guess, because allies were using it, and people were like, well, you shouldn't be. But at the same time, the way they've advertised it, obviously the A is not for ally, but at the same time, I think that the tag is to discover safe places for those people on Twitch, which if someone's an ally, technically it would be a safe place. But if they're looking to discover people that are actually part of the LGBT community, then they wouldn't be that's not the person that they're looking for. But I mean, if you're an ally and you're using it, the way that they've advertised it, you're using it properly. And like I said, if your stream is a safe space for people that are included in that tag to come, that's great. Like I said, I personally don't use it, even though I would consider myself an ally, because I thought that it was supposed to be reserved from just the content creators that I've seen that actually do identify as part of the community. They said that they do not want allies using it, so I haven't. But I mean, I would hope that people using the tag, saying that they're an ally, it would still be a safe space for people, and to find other streamers that are really inclusive and would include those members of the community. But as a straight person, I don't really have much really to say about it because I don't use it. But like I said, I would hope that whatever you use the A for, you're still being really inclusive to people in the community. I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to exclude anyone from using it, even allies, but at the same time, it's for people on their stream to use that tag that identify as part of the community. It's not really for but it just depends on how you want to use it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, what Kellie was saying was more or less what I was going to say as well. That like, if you're going to use the tag, then yes, you 100% have that responsibility to make that a safe space if you're using it. But she also mentioned, which is exactly what I was thinking, that if you're specifically looking for that tag to like find other people in the community, like aside from an ally, and then you don't get that, even if the streamer itself projects a safe space, if they're not really of that, like if you're looking specifically for that and you don't find that, it's hard to not be a little upset that that you'll feel like you're hoodwinked for lack of a better word. And like I think the best example of it is Jerel, we talked about this a few podcasts ago about how on Twitch there's not like a tag to find persons of color on Twitch.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
So like imagine if they did add that tag to Twitch and then you type that in hoping to find some streamers that are persons of color, and you find someone who's not a person of color, but they're not racist and they love black people.
That's literally what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
I was literally gonna say that.
Oh my god, this is a safe space for POC.
I'm not a person of color, but I'm all about.
That's literally what I was gonna say. Like, I can just imagine myself typing in like black streamers and then just getting a sea of white people that are like, "No, but we love black people. Come on, it's a safe space. Hang out." Like, what? not what I came here.
What's the purpose of the damn tag, you idiot?
That's all I can think about.
That's literally what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just hop in on that. Being LGBT, I think it's great that people want to use the tag, but I think also you have to remember that the A does stand for asexual, not ally. So even like you're essentially, and this is going to sound much worse than I want it to, but you're essentially kind of putting yourself in a space that you don't belong. And see, that sounds really bad, but I don't mean it in a sense that it sounds bad. It's like, this is literally for asexual people, right? So you're taking that from asexual people and kind of inserting yourself in it because you are a safe space. And sometimes people can think that they're allies, but they do things in their community that aren't necessarily helpful, and it's not on purpose. I don't assume that people are doing these things on purpose, but like, I'm gonna liken it again to like a black tag. Like if I went onto a stream and I was looking for black people and I saw someone who's like, "Oh no, but I love black people, it's a safe space here," and I click on their stream and they're just throwing out the N-word because they're like, "Nah, it's totally cool," like we're all black people here.
I'm allowed. I'm an ally.
Black friends and they're okay with it.
That is literally what I think, and I think this can be the same thing.
Cool, right?
Yeah.
I have a Black Lives Matter banner. Hello.
Exactly. So I think this can easily be the same thing where, someone thinks they're an ally. They can be like, it could be as simple as thinking that, an X in the women is great because it's inclusive, and then being completely wrong because it's not, that you don't know and you're trying to be good, but then you're doing things that aren't really good. But also I think if I'm looking for LGBT streamers, maybe I just want to find a cute guy who's streaming and I just want to be like, "Hey, you cute, I want to subscribe. Maybe we can, start a conversation." Not that Twitch should be used for dating or anything.
Yeah, I was about to say, like,
let's not use Twitch for dating. But sometimes I just want to watch some cute gay guys and be like, "Hey y'all, I'm here, I'm feeling this, I'm a part of this," and instead I get a bunch of straight guys who are allies. I don't want to be crushing on y'all don't want me, I don't want y'all. Like, that's not what I came here for, so I don't want that. Stop using that tag. No, I'm just kidding. Use what you want. I don't care. What
I will say though is that one of my friends started talking to a guy on Twitch, and they're now married.
See?
Yeah, they're married.
I could be
She moved across the country.
Damn.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And yeah, she moved. Yeah, and they're married now.
Well, look,
and they still both stream. It's so funny.
Yeah, if it happens, that's it's meant to, or whatever. I'm just saying that's not why you should go. Like if you go to Twitch and like,
not too late. You can find someone on Twitch.
I can find somebody on Twitch, but I'm gonna use
the
tag, and what's gonna happen? It's gonna be a straight guy, and I'm gonna think that they're
gonna find a white looking dude that looks like me.
And I'm gonna be like, hey, you gay? And they're gonna be like, nah, I'm not with that. And I'm like, then why
No,
are you
you
using the
can
tag,
tell me your
bro?
stories.
Exactly. It's like, why are you using the tag? You're confusing me now. It's already hard enough for me to find
Don't be
cute gay
confused.
guys.
Everything is fine.
You're
Speak
making
your.
it worse.
I feel like I'm talking like a reverend right now. It's like, speak, my child, about what you're experiencing.
Like, oh god, like I don't want to talk to you about how I was doing this thing the other day and it affected my life. Like,
just put a. If you're an ally using the tag, just put a confessional wall.
Did you want to jump in before I move on?
I think the biggest takeaway about this is because you said Twitch is marketing it as if the A stands for ally. Start making bingo cards where for every week I have somewhere Twitch fucks up again.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing for this though is, do your research. You got to find out what the A stands for. You got to find out what each of the letters stands for in there and see if the tag applies to you. Because although Twitch is telling you the A stands for A, you obviously see that it doesn't. So that falls on you to do your own research.
Yeah.
Well,
did you mean the
what I meant?
The
A doesn't. Twitch is telling you the A stands for ally when in reality it doesn't. That's you got to do your own research and see if that's actually what that means, because knowing Twitch, there's a good chance that they fucked up again. I personally don't think straight allies should be using it for the reasons that have been outlined already, that people may want to use a tag to find creators that fall under the tag. Even if you are a safe space, I think you should be a safe space anyway, like just being a good person. Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about Twitch. You can't guarantee that.
Yeah, that's why, yeah.
Gabe, you said I'll find a white guy like you on there?
Yeah. You're not with your white guy.
You know what? I don't discriminate. If a white guy wants to date me, good luck.
I'm gonna shoot you some usernames, Jerel. I'm gonna get you on Twitch.
Send them my way.
I'm gonna get you on Twitch.
I don't discriminate. It's not February anymore. It's not Black History Month, so now I've decided that I can continue to date white guys.
Okay.
I was not dating them for February just because it was Black
Also,
History Month,
for anyone listening, don't go on Twitch trying to date people.
Well, you have to date women because it's international. It's Women's Month now, Jerel.
No. You don't date women. You gotta go on Twitch and you gotta sub to all of them. You gotta give them money.
Yes, I'm honestly down for that. Go sub to a female streamer on Twitch. Sub to Kellie. Shit.
Me. Sub to me. Don't say woman. Me. Only.
Woman X.
Either say Kellie or Woman X. That's the always.
Woman X and.
So, in April, I will be down to date white guys. Because this month I'm dating.
It's in April.
This month is Women's Month.
Jerel, let's go on a date.
That's why, because it's April Fool.
It would be so much fun.
Actually, I'm going out with David this weekend, so.
Okay, well, that's disappointing that I won't be there. He's gonna be here, so then I'm gonna go out with him. Nah. I get David too. To wrap things up a little bit, we're almost done. One thing is this wonderful TMNT game, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles title that's coming up. Brandon, do you want to tell everyone about it, or should I?
I would love to tell everyone about this game.
Ahead, please. I know you are the TMNT guy.
Indeed. I'm going to pull out my Donatello in a second and show it, but let me talk about the game first. So this game is called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge. The opening, so they just kind of announced this out of the blue. This was just like a Twitter post by the developers, which I believe, what are they called? Tribute Games with help of .mu. And, the opening was just like a loving tribute to like the 80s cartoon, which I'll be real honest, I didn't really watch a lot of the 80s cartoon. I got started with the 2003 show. But I look at the opening, I still feel nostalgic because it's iconic for Ninja Turtles fans. So I was looking at it and it's like really, and it's based on their designs. The game itself is a beat 'em up. It's definitely heavily inspired by the very popular Ninja Turtles beat 'em up game Turtles in Time, which itself was based on the show / the movies, have you. But yeah. So it has a wonderful art style. It has kind of 4 players. Please, for the love of God, have online play because I would love to play this online. And yeah, it just looks like really good. Like the art style is just like really promising. The gameplay looks crisp. Again, it's a Turtles. People love Turtles in Time. So the fact that you're making like a successor to that is really promising in itself. The sprite work just looks incredible. And much like the original Turtles in Time game, it looks like each turtle will have their own skills based on the based on their weapon of choice. Like Donnie's got the bow staff, Raph's got the double side, Leonardo's got the 2 katana, and Michelangelo's he's got the nunchucks. I'm wondering, what's up? What are you gonna say?
I was gonna say I saw a tweet that was talking about the animation for their running, and I watched and I was like, oh, it's totally cool. Like, it's so on par with their personalities. Like, the little things like that are super exciting. Like, the little details.
Honestly, I'm very excited about the game. Right now, it's it's only announced for Steam. I'm hoping they'll announce some consoles here and there.
Bring a Switch.
Yeah, Switch would be nice. I'd be okay playing a PlayStation.
That'd be a beautiful game for the Switch.
It really would. I played on PlayStation as well, either or. But either way, it looks like it's going to be a really fun game. I'm wondering if there might even be unlockable characters, because they showed in the trailer Master Splinter and Casey were also. I'm not Casey. It was April who were in the opening too. So that'd be cool if I could play as them too. It'd be nice.
Es que linda.
I think I just like I shared it because it was like a really cool surprise announcement.
Yeah, I agree.
And it looks like it's going to be fun. So yeah, cool game. Excited for it to come out.
Add it to the backlog. Let's go.
Unless it does have that online play, in which case I might push for it to be another playthrough. Just saying.
Can we speedrun it?
Well, the reason I said fuck that game, because no, that's one game. No. If this game is anything like Turtles in Time, this game cannot be speedrun, no matter how fast we try to go. Because the reason
that's true. The fastest you can go is to beat up all the enemies on screen, and then they let you move.
Yeah. You think I can't beat them up quick? I played River City Girls. I speedrun that.
Yep. Hold on.
The reason I said fuck that game when Brandon said Turtles in Time was because that's one of the reasons I'm so into the Souls game is because Turtles in Time, he's so adorable.
What is that face?
Yeah, Bugsy like this in the 2013 show, though.
Oh my god, that is literally the face. I'm not a fan.
I hate her, man.
I feel like they really just shot him. Like, who designed his face like that? Like, I'm upset for Donatello fans. I'm sorry, Gabe. Go ahead.
Because so I used to play Turtles in Time on the SNES, and it's just one of those games that I couldn't beat. So when I saw the trailer and I saw the game, I was like, do I want to buy this or do I want to punch my computer, because that's probably what's going to happen.
Rip.
But I'm also excited for the game. It's anything like Turtles in Time. So much pain, so many hours of pain. Because I haven't played with my brother, who he's significantly older than me, so you'd think, he'd get a handle on the game better. No, we both just sucked.
Significantly older?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Gabe, do you identify as white?
I mean, my skin color is white, but my ethnicity, no.
That's a yes or no question.
The thing is, I never know how to answer it, because sometimes when people ask me if I identify as white, they're talking about my race, and sometimes they're talking about my ethnicity.
Well, race and ethnicity are different.
I know, but that's the thing. That's why I never answer it with a yes or no. That's why I say my skin color is white, my ethnicity is Hispanic.
So what do you feel?
I feel Hispanic.
Okay.
When you come into this house, you feel Hispanic.
Your race is white. You identify as
white.
Yes.
Yes.
All I hear do say yes.
Again, it's because everyone asked the question differently. Literally, once someone asked me, like, hey, do you identify as white? And I'm thinking they're talking about my race. I'm like, yeah. So for a year, they thought I was a white man from America, when no, I'm a white man of Hispanic background.
Ain't your daddy black?
Yes.
So
I don't think it's fair my brother got that.
Who was suspended following sexual abuse accusations. I'm sorry, I was just curious for any listeners.
Not like we just segued that. I'm a little offended right now. But okay.
No.
Oh, I'm a little offended. Oh, it's okay. Oh, it's okay.
Oh my god.
It's okay. No, it's fine. It's cool.
I was just curious because you said I was gonna I would find a white guy, and I was like, oh, I didn't know whether you identified like your race as white or mixed. I wasn't asking ethnicity. I was literally asking race.
What would mixed be?
No, it would be white, because you would present as like white. I was just curious. I think it's so interesting. It's like, what is going on? I'm sorry. I'm Anyway.
I just sort of, I don't know. That came out of nowhere. And then now you're just like, and now we're talking about something else. And I'm like,
because I don't want us to run
okay.
Like, I'm trying to be a good host and segue. It was just a really bad segue. So segueing away from that conversation about race and ethnicity, Valorant player Sinatra has been suspended following sexual abuse accusations. This is from IGN. His name is Jay Wan. It says he's been suspended both from Valorant Champions Tour as well as his team, the Sentinels. As the investigation into Jay Sinatra Wan continues, the Overwatch League has issued a statement regarding the matter. Prior to playing Valorant, esports I'm sorry, my cat's knocking over all my Joy-Cons right now. Prior to playing Valorant esports, Juan was a key member of the San Francisco Shock Overwatch team, where he was crowned MVP for the team's winning 2019 season. So not only does he play Valorant, he also played Overwatch. Overwatch will refund an Overwatch League skin for Zarya that was inspired by Juan as part of his MVP win during his time in the league. The Overwatch League operates under a franchise system, and the San Francisco Shock is operated by a third-party company. In a statement to IGN, an Overwatch League spokesperson said the Overwatch League is aware of allegations made against the former player, Jay Sinatra Wan. We take any allegations of this nature seriously and unequivocally support victims of abuse. So Overwatch is giving refunds for that. They had a full official statement, but we're going to go to the original post, which is about him playing Valorant. And he's been suspended from the North American Valorant Champions Tour following allegations that he sexually abused a former partner. In a statement yesterday, Cleo Hernandez provides a detailed graphic account of her relationship with Juan, saying Juan pressured her into sex on numerous occasions without her consent, even after she repeatedly told him no or expressed that she was in pain. She also accused him of being emotionally abusive and manipulative while they were together. The account includes an audio recording in which Hernandez can be heard saying no repeatedly, while a male voice, said to be Juan's, insists on continuing. Today, Riot issued a statement through its official Valorant Champions Tour and an account authored by Global Head of Competitive Operations, Alex Francois, and it says, "We are aware of the current situation regarding J1 Sinatra and have launched an investigation. Per our existing competitive rules and investigative process, a decision has been made to suspend Juan throughout the investigation, and therefore he will not be able to compete this weekend." Juan's team, the Los Angeles Sentinels, has also suspended Juan with a similar statement. So, I want to do a very quick conversation on consent, and just let everybody know that even if you're in a relationship, if someone says no, guess what? That still means no, and you can still be a disgusting rapist if you try to get with someone who says no and does not consent to it. Please, people, don't be that person. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter that you're really good at video games. That doesn't mean that you get to do whatever you want. That's what I have to say about that. I don't know if anybody else wants to jump in.
No, yeah, I did read her statement, and like some of the text message exchanges are like so, like he's like asking her like where she's been. She's like, I'm at work, and he's like, no, you're like your GPS didn't show you're at work, and she's like, I'm at, like, apparently it would glitch sometimes, and he would be like messaging her like a million times, like, no, he would be like asking her, are you cheating while she's like at work? And she like literally sent him a picture of her Uber like to her job. It was like so disgusting. Like, I can't even believe it. And first of all, if he's a professional esports player, why is she fucking going to work? Damn it, you know?
I'm gonna be a housewife, bitch. I'm not getting anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm really glad that she's out of the situation. I didn't listen to the video, or not the video, but I didn't listen to the recording. But, I mean, I feel like people will say, like, people have said, like, on his team, like, I need to hear his side of the story, but I'm like, people who are manipulative and abusive don't really remember things the same way as victims. They really don't think they've done anything. So he will say, no, man, she really did want it. Like, that's what he thought, I'm sure. I'm sure that he thought, because he's so great, that no one would say no. But that's just not the case. And yeah, like I said, hearing his side of the story doesn't really mean much, because no means no. I don't know how you have a side besides that. And like I said, the text messages of, just emotional like, manipulation, just abuse. It's just, it's disgusting, obviously. And, I'm glad that she's out of the situation, but now I'm sure she's facing harassment. I'm sure that now that she's come forward about a horrible situation that she went through, somehow she's at fault here. Anyways, I just another story of another woman being trapped in a relationship with someone who's terrible.
Yeah.
Anywho,
we got those smash allegations a while ago with, sexual harassment of minors, which I was like, would y'all stop? And then, it's like, first of all, thank goodness you guys are being exposed because you're like in public. But also, I just can't fathom being a public figure in video games and being a bad person. Like, you realize this shit ain't gonna last, right? Like, someone is going to find out what you do, and it's for the better, so that you can stop doing it. But it just really sucks when like, I was a San Francisco team cheer. I used to cheer for the San Francisco Shock in Overwatch, literally just because they had orange outfits and it was my favorite color. But it kind of sucks when I used to watch the Overwatch League. I appreciate Blizzard for actually returning or accepting refunds on the outfit. I feel like that's really cool of them. But I also have problems with Blizzard because y'all just be doing stupid shit too. So it's like, I guess I appreciate that they did that little piece of whatever. But it really just sucks because I'm writing a feature article right now about the Black women in hero shooters, right? And Valorant's included and Overwatch is included, and then it has to be tainted by stuff like this, and it's just people making bad decisions, people in power assuming that they can do things that they shouldn't be able to. Stop being creeps, y'all. Like, I'm so scared to date people in the gaming scene now because who knows what y'all gonna do to me, my poor self. I'm done. Shall I move on?
Yeah.
Something positive?
Yay.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry, Gabe. I don't...
No, I'm not uncomfortable. It's just the way you finished that off.
I finish things off good.
I'm not saying it was bad.
So in 2012, Kyogoku, hopefully I said that right, became the first woman to direct a Nintendo game with Animal Crossing New Leaf. She led an initiative to staff half the dev team with women, awesome sauce, encouraging anyone to contribute ideas regardless of their role. Another piece of awesome sauce. A move credited for the title's stunning commercial success and unusually wide appeal. Kyogoku continued her directorial role on 2020's Animal Crossing New Horizons, now ranked among the best-selling games of all time. This was on a LinkedIn page for Women's History Month. And let me just say that this is what happens when you have women in charge who are good bosses, who listen to people, who allow for people to make a collaborative effort. This is what happens when you come with a collaborative effort. You get games like Animal Crossing New Horizons that does massive numbers. Of course, we're going to attribute some of it to COVID and all this other bullshit, but she really came in and changed the way New Leaf was. She came in and changed the way New Horizons is going. And I just wanted to end on a positive note of this wonderful woman for Women's History Month. Don't you do it, Kat. Don't you do it. Stop it.
Wait, Kat, do it.
No, because she will literally...
Do it, Kat. Do it.
He will not... Oh my god. So I want to end with a question none of you are prepared for, which is going to be really great. Are there any female characters, developers, streamers, anyone that you want to shout out for Women's History Month?
Yes, Lady Urbosa, Chieftain of the Gerudos, from The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Why?
I can list off a whole other women. What? Why? Yeah. All right. Well, first of all...
Wait. Is this a fictional character?
It is a fictional character, yes.
So not actual women.
You can
said game character.
I said anything. You can do a game character. You can do an actual person. Whatever you feel. Or you could do both.
come back to me because now I'm going to choose a real life person because now I don't. I feel like I chose the wrong person.
So you just don't give up on the one black lady in Zelda?
No,
that's not the one black lady in Zelda.
The one
I'm
important
just going to choose a realistic person now.
I feel some type of way.
Okay,
Thank Kelly for that.
Jerel, before I
I'm just clarifying.
Yes.
Before I answer,
clarify after I said my person.
Before I answer, since you did mention Lgbtqia Goku and Animal Crossing, I do want to just bring this up. This note, I forgot to submit it on the podcast thing. I just want to make sure this is known to everyone that's listening that Build-A-Bear Workshop is going to start having Animal Crossing characters as well. If they have ability to make Biff, I'm going to get there no matter what. I just want to throw that out there. Anyways,
I really hope that the selection is more vast than the Pokemon selection.
Yeah,
the Pokemon selection has been good, but there's so many good Animal Crossing villagers that deserve to be plush toys.
I'm hoping that this means that, you know, because of course the most popular characters, like for example, Captain over here get little Animal Crossing plushes, but they gave no love to like your average villager that maybe in your town that you may have like your attachment to.
Looks so funny.
It does look funny. Fun fact: the reason why I ended up liking Captain a lot is because me and him actually share the same birthday, which is July 12th.
That's so cute. There was a villager that shares my birthday, but it was ugly. So,
anyways, yeah, I would love to get like a Biff plush. That's all I'm trying to say. Anyway, getting back to the question that you posed, I'm not going to shy away from the fictional character that I chose because it is actually Samus Aran. I think she is awesome. Samus Aran is an interesting character because first off, in the original Metroid, it wasn't even. Oh my god, my headphones are like falling down. God, I was like, what is going on here? Anyways, Samus Aran in her original game, it wasn't even known right away that she was a female. That like she was like because she has like this big space suit. You can't really tell what's underneath. But then you go through the entirety of Metroid, and then at the very end, she removes her helmet, and then you see long flowing hair, revealing that in fact that she is the female character. And people who played that game in the 80s had their minds blown at the fact that this badass woman that just like slayed all these aliens in her path is a badass woman, and it was fantastic. And if you got really good at the game, she could actually take off not just her helmet but the entire suit, and she's wearing like a jumpsuit underneath. So that was something, I guess. But yeah, ever since then, she's just really come and composed herself as like this really. She's not. It's a trend for Nintendo characters to like not talk. In her case, she does it by choice. She's just a stoic character. Like her circumstances are the reason why she doesn't talk. Like she's by herself against a bunch of aliens. What is she gonna say to these aliens that are trying to kill her? She doesn't.
Fuck! Stop trying to kill me.
She can say.
She reacts, like, especially in modern games, you see her react to, like, really scary shit. But, like, she's not going to talk to the monster that's trying to kill her. She just does it. Even when she's being spoken to, she says only what she feels is necessary. She's like Jerel, you understand. She's a lot like Shamir in Three Houses. She doesn't say more than is necessary. Like, the very first time I ever heard her, like, really have, like, full dialogue was Metroid Fusion. And even that's not until the very end. Because the only character she really talks to is like this computer that gives her orders, and then she just says a simple yes, no, whatever to like confirm the order. But then the plot really wraps up at the end to the point where it sounds like, okay, I got to say something. Like, computer, what the fuck? Like, what are you sending me to do now? Computer's like, you have to complete this mission. She's like, no, I'm not doing it because for this. I'm not going to spoil the plot, of course. So she talks when she needs to, and I respect that a lot about her. That she's like, she like I just like her characterization. That It's in like Gabe mentioned recently. I think he told you, Jerel, that Link, the whole Breath of the Wild, why he doesn't talk. It's the only game that's ever explained why he doesn't talk. Where Samus has always had a reason. It's just it's just the circumstances. I've never played Metroid Other M. I hear that doesn't do a lot of good stuff for a character, even though the game apparently is really good. I have to play myself to verify. But yeah, I really appreciate her for being like one of the first examples of being like the first really well-known female video game character that just busts ass. I really feel like Samus is what paved the way for characters like Lara Croft in Tomb Raider, or like I guess to cite a recent example, Ellie in The Last of Us, whether you like her or not.
Okay. My most fond memory of Samus is definitely in Subspace Emissary when she joins up with Pikachu because that was the best thing ever, and I don't understand why that did not happen again. Subspace Emissary was my favorite thing to play through in that Smash game. I
adore that, and by the way,
great.
Christy will say the same. She nicknames her Pikachu Samus in a lot of games because of that cutscene. The fact that
so wonderful. Those
Samus and
cutscenes were amazing.
Best friends. And then when Ridley came and attacked Samus in that one cutscene, poor Samus was getting her ass beat by Ridley, and then Pikachu came out and saved her. And I was like, oh, they're best friends. It's great. Yeah, it's wonderful. That's a good memory, yes.
Kellie, Gabe?
Gabe, go on.
No, you can go ahead. No, you can go ahead. You can go ahead since people attributes aren't real.
Wow.
I'm telling you,
my females of choice. I was gonna do a bunch of black women, but I'll do that next week. Today, I've decided to do the lovely women of HP Critical, which includes Kellie, Marissa, and Christy, who have just been and those are not the only women of HP Critical, but those are the women that I'm gonna shout out because I interact with Kellie every week on this podcast that she comes to, so thank you so much, Kellie. Christy and Marissa just also do so much for the website behind the scenes for anyone who doesn't see them all the time, so I just gotta give them a shout out for International Women's Month. And there are still more women behind the scenes that do a lot more. So I'm not going to do everyone. I don't want to miss anyone, so I'm just going to stop there. But thank you guys. It's been wonderful.
I don't want to go now.
Why? Because you cut out on your birthday. I'm sad.
Yeah, because you those real women that we personally know.
I was also supporting your.
Anytime you mention a black woman, I'm here for it, and then you just cut it off. So now I'm sad.
Because Kellie judged me.
I didn't judge. I was just asking. I don't know who that is.
We're gonna play this back.
Literally just asked the question.
Seemed very judgmental.
Okay, well, hurry up, go, because we gotta end.
Kellie, you can go.
I don't know any women. I can't even name one.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna go with Urbosa because in the not the latest, the only Legend of Zelda game she came in, she was a motherly figure, but she wasn't your stereotypical motherly figure where she's motherly and that's her only attribute in the game, she doesn't do anything else. She's one of the most badass Legend of Zelda characters that has ever existed, and then Age of Calamity cemented that even more because one, how cool it is to be able to wield lightning. If I had a superpower, I would want to shoot somebody with lightning. Not shoot somebody with lightning.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy.
And don't know about that. And yeah, she's just an overall badass. If you don't know who Urbosa is, you haven't seen her in action, I recommend you look at her cutscenes from Breath of the Wild. And then go and pick up an Age of Calamity copy and go play the game as her.
She's really good to play in that.
I have my highest level is Link at 100 or 99, and then she's literally right behind him at 95 because I use her that much.
All right, and with that, I think it's been a wonderful week. Thank you guys once again for joining me. What is funny?
I think.
Okay. Thanks once again, you guys, for joining me. Thank you for everyone who listens. Make sure you send us wonderful reviews because then more people can find us and then we can, chat with more pipes. Once again, we've got our Patreon, patreon.com/HPCritical. If you like the show, you can support us there. You can also support this show directly, this podcast directly in the show notes of the podcast. You can also check out our website, obviously, hpcritical.com. Sign up for our newsletter so you won't miss a thing where we also talk about what we're going to be talking about in this podcast for the month. You can figure out how you can be a part of it if you're a Patreon member. Also on HP Critical, we have our stream schedule where Brandon's going to be streaming stuff with himself, some special guests, sometimes me, mostly not me for anything old because, Grayson's been on more than I have. We'll talk about that later. You can also find in the show notes for this episode Gabe's streaming and his YouTube channel, as well as Kellie's. Make sure you follow them, as well as HP Critical. We also have a bunch of other things that we're supporting. Make sure you sign up for our newsletter, and you can get some percentage off on some coffee from Grinding Coffee Co., as well as a bunch of other stuff. Just check it out. Check it out. And with that, I'm going to say goodnight, everyone. Bye.
Good night, everyone. Bye.
Night, everyone.
Let's go! HP Critical!